Hey, welcome to LTP Studio, where I'm less than productive and so can you. Today, we're learning how to use custom animations from Tvori in Unity. And there are a few bullet points we want to cover. In Tvori, we want to be aware of axis alignment and export the animation with a T-pose. In Unity, we want to cover the avatar bones, the animation clip, and the animator controller. So with all that said, let's get started. Do you see this blue line? That's the z-axis. We want to make sure that our character is moving along that axis. If you also see, the character is in what's called a T-pose. We want to bake that into the animation before we export. Finally, we want to make sure that our animation range includes all of the animation. Once we have that set up, we can finally export it with an export, animation, and FBX. Once that exports, we'll get an FBX file that we can drag and drop into the project folder of Unity. From here, I'm going to let my other recording take over. So here's when we're bringing it into the Unity project. The Unity project I've set up is called Tvori to Unity, and I'm in the Assets folder, and I've created a folder called Tvori Animations. I'm just dragging the puppet animations into that folder. When I go back into Unity, it should import those. On the Unity side of things, I've set up a scene with the third-person controller. This is from a standard assets package that I got from the assets store. There was an issue with importing it into 2019.3, and if you want to see how to correct those errors, just check the end of the video. But assuming that you've fixed those errors, bring the third-person controller into the sample scene. If you can't find them, then go into Standard Assets, Characters, Third-Person Character, and Prefabs. From here, you can just drag and drop it. If we push play, then we can see that the character is just running around with a WASD control. We can also hit jump. If we go into the third-person controller inspector, we can see that there's an animator attached to it, and the controller has a third-person animator controller on it. If we double-click into that, and drag that animator over here, we can start to see the blend tree happen during the movement. If we go to this base layer, you can see that during its playtime, it's grounded. And then if he jumps, it hops to airborne, goes to a crouching, and then back to grounded. If we want to see the entire blend tree in the grounded folder, then we double click it. Here you can see all the different animations that make up the movement of the character while he's grounded. If you click into the blend tree and you go to the inspector, you can see all of these blue dots. These are each one of the animations, and this red dot is which animation is being played at the current time. This one is idling, and actually if we pause it or stop the play and we do the demo play, we can see him idling here. If you move it forward, then this is him walking, running, to the right and to the left. The extremes are essentially pivots. The thing that we want to do is scrolling down into here, we see this humanoid walk and humanoid run, as well as the humanoid idle. We want to replace those with our own custom animations that we've exported from Tvori. Over here, we see the puppet that we imported into Unity and the Unity project. The first thing we want to address is the generic animation type. We actually want humanoid because humanoid is set up for Mechanim and the entire animation blend trees. We want to create the avatar from this model. If we open up this caret and we scroll all the way to the bottom, we'll see a Tvori animation, but we won't see an avatar. After we apply this, then an avatar will be created. We scroll down just a little bit now, we see the puppet avatar. We want to click on that and then configure that avatar. This is where the T-pose comes in handy. If we go into the scene and find the puppet, we can see all the bones that are associated with the avatar. There's some missing though. You can see this grayed out chest, and you can see the toes aren't there, as well as the hands. Let's address the chest first. So in the hierarchy, we're going to the puppet clone, and we're finding the chest. Here it is. We're just clicking and dragging it into this empty transform spot. Now you can see that the chest is no longer gray, it's actually green. Now I was having some trouble earlier with the toes. We'll see if it works here. If it doesn't, then that's okay. Here's the right toe. And I'm noticing it's right at the ankle, so we're going to have some issues because it's not at the actual toe placement. But let's try it anyway. Right toe. Yeah, I'm having an issue. So I'm just going to go into the option, scroll all the way to the top, and hit none. So it looks like everything that we can do has been done. So we're going to apply that and hit done. If we go to the Tvori animation, we should be able to play the animation and everything should come through correctly. That's looking good. But now we have to split up the actual animation. Click on the animation and go to edit. Let's add a different clip. So the previous one was at 11 and went to 30. And we wanted to make that loop time and the loop pose. Apply that. And we'll call this one the walk or jaywalk. This next one is just going to be jaywalk idle. Clamp this range and hit it right at 60. 75 looks pretty good. And we'll have a loop time and the loop pose. That's looking pretty good. Let's apply that. There we go. Let's go back into our sample scene to the third person controller. Open that up, go into that blend tree, scroll down, and we want to replace this humanoid idle with our own idle. We want to replace the J walk as well as the J run, mostly because when you're using WASD, the avatar is only going to run. It's never really going to walk. Once that's done, we can go into our game, push play, and look at that. And there we go, custom animations in Unity's Mechanim. Okay, so if you've had trouble importing the standard assets into 2019.3.1, these are some of the ways you can fix these errors. So let's go double click into this, and we see GUI texture type of, and the issue is that it's obsolete, and so we need to use UI.image first. So let's get into the assemblies, and we're going to be using Unity Engine .ui, I think, and that should be happy. We'll have to get rid of this. This will be UI.image. Let's just try that. And then we'll save that out. We'll let it recompile. We'll clear out some of the old errors, and then let's pop into this last one. So this one's saying GUI text is obsolete. We need to use UI.text. Same thing again. Add an assembly reference, Unity Engine.ui. Oh, we need to use text instead, not image. Save that out. Come back here, let it recompile. Re-import. Let's clear these new errors
and we're looking good. Let's do a test play, see if it has any issues. It doesn't. Look at us go. All right,